Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to Homework 1.11. This is a practice homework. So this is number fluency number 3. I'll get right into row A. So the mixed number for 4 over 3, we take 3. We ask ourselves, how many times does it go into 4? It does go in one time, so we don't worry about putting down a decimal or anything like that. So it is 1 1/3. Sorry, so I got my 1 from right here, and my leftover 1 came from right there. Right? Another fraction, I can take 1 1/3, simply just multiply it by 2 or any number that you want. I'll get 1 2/6. For a decimal, I've asked you to memorize your thirds, so hopefully you recognize right away. The 1 is my whole number, and then the 1/3 is 0.333 repeated. Have to have the repeat sign. If you didn't know that this is 1/3, put it right up here. 3 goes into 1. Well, it doesn't, so I put decimal 0. And I put a 3 there, goes in there 9 times with 1 left over. Got to go again. 3 goes into 10 3 times with just 9, 1 left over. Got to go again. 3 goes into 10 3 times. It's just going to keep on going forever and ever, right? So you can always divide the denominator into the numerator if you haven't memorized your fraction. Another decimal. I could do 1.33333 repeated, or I could just say 1.3 repeated. They're the same thing, right? As a percent, I am going to want to use my original decimal, 1.33 repeated. I'm going to want to swoop 2 times to the right, and it's 133.3 repeated percent. Please make sure you put the percent sign. For my picture, obviously I just shade in one hole, and then divide up my second picture into thirds, and only shade in one of them. All right. For take half and double it, I'll have 4 over 3 divided by 2 over 1. I will then flip my second fraction and change it to multiplication. So 4 over 3 times 1 over 2, which gives me 4 over 6. And I need to simplify this, so divide by 2 on both. I'll get 2 over 3. I'll do 4 over 3 times 2 over 1 to double it. When I multiply straight across, I get 8 over 3. I'll accept 8 over 3, or 2 2/3. Either one I'll accept. Row B, I want to make sure that you understand 2.666 repeated. That's 2/3, right? So you can't just add another 0. You can say 2.66 repeated. And then for your percent, again, you want to use the original percent and just move 2 times to the right. Once, twice. Sorry, this should be a solid line, not an equal sign. So that's 266.6% with the 6 being repeated, right? You can just take 2.666 repeated and say, all right, 2 is my whole number. The 0.666 repeated, you gotta memorize that as 2/3. Okay, and as my improper fraction, 2 2/3, I do 2 times 3, which is 6. I add it to 2, that's 8 over 3. So for another fraction, that's 2 2/3 times 2 times 2, I get 2 4/6. That's the same thing. And so for here, I'll divide these up into thirds. And then this one's kind of bad, so I'll redo it. And cover in this one all the way, cover in this one all the way, and 2 pieces of this one get filled in. All right. For my fraction, I want to use 8 over 3 divided by, my fault, 2 over 1, which is 8 over 3 times 1 over 2, which gives me 8 over 6. And then again, make sure you simplify it, divide by 2, that will give you 4 over 3. And then 8 over 3 times 2 over 1, which gives me 16 over 3. So I'll accept 16 over 3, or I'll accept 5 1/3. Finally, in row C, we have a new one. So we have 3 1/8. So we're using our eighths. So first, let's at least work with what we know. That's always kind of the foot in the door, right? We know how to change a mixed number to an improper fraction. So when we do that, we say plus 24. You get 25 over 8, right? And then we also know how to make another fraction. We just say times 2 times 2. All right, that's 3 2 over 16. So always, when you counter in something that's like, I don't even know what 1/8 is, at the very least, there are some things that you do know how to do, right? You know how to do the pictures, you know how to make another fraction, you know how to make an improper fraction. Do the stuff you know how to do first, the rest will kind of take care of itself. So 3 1/8. 3 is obviously the whole number. Let me actually do the division for 1/8, and I'll do it down here. So 8 goes into 1, doesn't, so decimal, decimal, 0. 8 goes into 10 one time, that's 8 with 2 left over. 8 goes into now 20 2 times, that's 16 with 4 left over. And 8 goes into 40 5 times, so 0.125. So if you didn't have your reference sheet, 1/8 is 0.125. And yes, you should have this work on your paper, because on the back I'll probably ask you to do like 3/8 or 5/8, and you should know how to do it. So for the 1/8, I can just add a 0 because it's not a repeated number. My percent, I'll use my original decimal. And again, I only swoop twice, once, twice. So the decimal ends up between the 2 and the 5. So 312.5%. Put the percent sign. These are divided into eighths. So you can divide them into fourths, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, right? And then to make them eighths, all you have to do is put a line through the middle. And now you have eighths, right? So 3/8. Oops, I need to give you another box. So you need to draw one more box. My fault. Divide those into fourths first, and then eighths. So all of these boxes will be filled in. My apologies for not giving you the correct amount of box. And then just one square in this last box will be filled in. Lastly, we're going to half it. So 25/8 divided by 2/1, otherwise known as 25/8. Remember, you flip, so times 1/2, which gives you 25/16. So I would accept 25/16, or I'd accept 1 9/16, and then 25/8 times 2/1. I'm going to cross cancel here so I don't get a huge number that I have to simplify. So I can divide both those by 2. I get a 1 here and a 4 here. And now when I multiply straight across, I have a simplified answer of 25/4. So I'd accept 25/4, or I'd accept 6 1/4. All right. Before we're done, we're not done because we actually have to plot these numbers on the number line. So A, if you recall, is 4/3, otherwise known as 1.33. So you could go to 1 and you could create thirds. So 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So A is going to be here, 4/3, A. B, if you recall, is 2.66 or 2 2/3. So 1/3, 2/3. Oops, that's a little off. So more like 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So 6/6. 2.6666 repeated. It's going to be there. That's B. And C is 3 1/8. So the thirds, you can divide them into eighths. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. So that'd be about right there, 3 1/8, or C, just past the 3. All right, that's it. On the back side, you're responsible for showing your work. Row D, we have thirds again. So if we have a mixed number of 7/3, that's 3 into 7, goes in there 2 times, which is 6. So I'm helping you out here. 2 1/3, I'll let you take that from there. Row E is tenths, obviously, and row F is eighths. So you should actually show the division here, 8 into 5, which doesn't work, decimal, decimal, 0, and you should actually show your division to figure out what 5/8. So you can always double check on your reference sheet. But make sure you show your work and call me if you have questions, and also make sure you fill out the number line D for DE now. That's it.